So if there is 80% or 90% similarity is there, okay, and you want to record those, and if you want to treat those city as same cities, okay. So if you want to provide, while joining the two tables, if you want to provide lenience between the mapping column, then we have to go for fuzzy lookup. Okay. Now let us see how we can do that. So let us see that first of all I need to take the transaction table. So my date source is coming from the OLDB source. So let me take this. And my table is present in the DB Krishna. Yes, my transaction table. What is your table name? Let me write a command. So for this table, it is table fuzzy. Okay. So this is the table in which the transaction data is present. No? So first of all, I need to call the table. Okay. And let me go preview. So we are able to preview the data. Okay. Now this data, this source data, let me pass to the fuzzy lookup. And inside the fuzzy lookup, okay, so where is your reference table is present? So always this is the master table, no? Which is the city master table where the unique data is present. Okay. So here where the unique data is present. Okay, this is the master tables, and always, okay, inside the lookups, whether it is fuzzy lookup or normal lookup, always we will call the master table inside the lookup. Okay, so here also, so with which table data I need to compare. Okay, I need to join. So let us go and select that city master table. So let us go and select that city master table, table underscore. So city no. So let us select that city master table. Okay. Now, do you want to store a new index? Okay. So this SSIS will generate one index column. Okay. And you can go and give some index name here. So let us give some new index name. Let us name some pressure. Okay. So this is the tool generated index. Okay. So in order to fetch the data fastly, it will create some index on the city master column. Okay. Now let us go for mappings. Go to this columns. Now in order to compare these two table data, we need to join these two tables. No? So here, based on which column you want to join, now here we have the city column, and here also we have the city name. So I want to join these two tables based upon the city name. Okay, city and city name. Okay, now this the input columns. Okay, that is the columns present in the transaction table. All are pass through columns. Okay, all are pass through columns. And from the master table, which are the columns you want to add the result? So I want to add the city name and state. Okay, I want to add the city name and state. So up to this, okay. So we have selected a reference table and we have created a new index and we have applied the join between these two tables based upon the city name. Now we have one more call advanced section. So here we can go and specify the similarity threshold. Suppose if you are looking for 100% similarity, you can go for like this. Okay, if you are looking for 100% similarity, we can go and specify like that. Now click on it. Now let us go and view the output. Okay, now let us see. Now let us go for execute task. Now I have set the 100% similarity, no? So the data should come like SQL output. So here whatever the join I am making, no? So the SSIS output also will come like this. Means for this Hyderabad, so this is data is not 100% matching with the city name. So these two will become null in the SSIS also. Let us go and see. Now you can see the output. So this is the city population. Now you can see here. So Hyderabad and this Hyderabad is 100% matching. So that's why state name is coming here. But this Hyderabad and this Hyderabad is not 100% matching. Okay. So that's why you can see the null records, still null records are coming here. Okay. So even though there is a 90% matching, okay, or 80% matching, okay, then you can, if you want to still treat them as same cities, then you can use the fuzzy lookup, and inside the fuzzy lookup you can go to the advanced section and you can set the similarity percentage here. So if you want to treat, okay, if 90% similarity is there, okay, so if there is any 90% similarity, then you want to treat them as same cities, you can go and set it as 90%. Okay, so you can go and check with your customer, okay, whether you want to set 90% or 80% similarity. Now let me see if 90% will work out for me. Now you can go and see that. So it is still not showing that. So it is saying that, okay, there is no 90% similarity also. Now let me go and see that how much is the similarity level. Now let me put 80%. Okay. Let me put 70% here and let us see. Let me put 80%. Okay. Now let us see any record data will match. So let it execute. So now you can see that. So even though there is, you can see there is spelling difference is there. Okay, means it is that difference between these two is similarity level is greater than 80%. So that's why it has given the Hyderabad and the Telangana as the state name. Now you can go and check that similarity level also. You can see here. So all are greater than 80%, but less than 90%. So that's why it has not given in the earlier case. But here you can see that it is saying that it is giving us the similarity level also. It is showing that so this one and this one is 88% similarity is there. Okay, which is greater than 80%. So that's why it has shown the city name and the state name. Similarly, between these two also there is more than 80% difference, 80% similarity. Similarly, between Chennai and this Chennai, there is 80% similarity. That's why it has generated the city name and state name. And here you can see one more tab called confidence one. So it is saying that this is the similarity one and how much confidence the tool is. So it is saying that okay, these two are same and my confidence level is 50% confidence. Okay. So even though similarity is greater than 80% or near to 89%, it is saying that okay, this is showing the confidence level of the tool. Okay. So I confidently say so these two are same like that. Okay, the last column is again the similarity one. This is again the similarity. Okay, so this is about the lookup, fuzzy lookup. When you are applying the join or lookup between the two tables, and if you want to provide some lenience, okay, if you want to provide some lenience, like if both are 80% similarity is there and you want to treat them as same records, then we have to go for fuzzy lookup. Okay. So this is about fuzzy lookup example. Let me go for next one. Let us go for data flow task. Let us go for next one. So we have percentage sampling and row sampling. Okay, let us go for percentage sampling and row sampling. We have already covered import column and export column. Now let me go for percentage sampling. Now what is this percentage sampling and when we will use this percentage sampling is, okay, so when you are in the testing phase, and let us say your source table contains lakhs of records. Let us say your source table contains 10 lakhs records and you are in the testing phase. Now, every time you test your package, you have to wait for all the 10 lakh records to process. All the 10 lakh records to process. So, and again, when you want to test it one more time, again you have to wait for all the 10 lakh records are executing. You have to wait until all the 10 lakh records are executing. Okay, let us say you have written some package. Okay, and if you want to test that package, you have to wait for all the 10 lakh records to process or to execute. But since you are in testing phase, you don't need to test for entire whole data. No? If you test for 100 records, that is more than enough. Okay. So usually when you are in testing stage, you don't test for whole table data. You want to test for minimum amount of data, some dynamic records. So let us say out of 10 lakhs, you want to check for only 100 records, 100 different dynamic records. So if you want to separate some amount of data from your source data. Okay. So now every time you don't want to test for 10 lakhs, you want to separate from that 10 lakhs, you want to separate 100 records and you want to test your package only for those 100 records. Okay. Then in that case, we have to go for this percentage sampling. We have to go for this percentage. Now let us see how we can do that. So let us take any table. Now let me go for So let me connect to my database. Okay. Now in this, let me take select star. So I have some 21 records. Let us say in this table I have some lakhs of records. Okay. I want to test with only some 10% of data or 2% of data or 1% of data. Then you have to go for this percentage. Now let us see. So let me pass the source data, validity source. Or if you want to test with, let us say some, let us take some SSIS flat file source data also. So let me take. So now you can see I have some huge amount of data. So huge amount of data in this text file. Okay. Now my text file is present under the one of the folder. And now you can see this text file first row contains the column names. Okay. So this text file is present in the desktop. Okay, SQL underscore SAI. Now let me go to this. Okay, now instead of OLDB source, always let me take the flat file source. Let us go to this. Let me create a connection to your bulk data file. So let me select some bulk data file. Now let me go for browse. Let me go for bulk data text. Does it have column names? Yes, it has column names in the first row. Now you can see there is a huge amount of data coming in this text. Let me click on let us see bulk data file one. Click on OK. Now you can see the list of columns. Now your source history. Now my source history. Now I don't want to test my application every time with huge amount of data. Okay. Now by using this percentage sampling, I can separate some records. Okay, some 1% or 2% or 3% or 10% or 20%, whatever it is. Okay. Now let us see from this whole set of records. Okay, I want to get only 10 percentage of those. Suppose if you have hundreds, so it will give you the 10 percentage as 10 records. Suppose if it has 200 records, so 10% in the 200 is 20 records. So it will separate those 20 records. Now let us see save side. Let me go for 2%. Okay. So let us go for percentage of rows as 2. Now what it will do is it will separate the data into two outputs. One is selected output, sample selected output, and sample unselected output. Okay. So it will separate the entire source data into two outputs. Okay. Now let us go and see. Let me use the audit. Let me use one more audit. And let us put the selected output in the one of the and unselected output in another pipeline. Okay. Now let me view that. So here you can go and see. Let me view the unselected output data also. So let me view the data. Now let me go and execute this. Now what I have done is I don't know how many rows are there. From these rows I want to separate only 2% of rows. Okay, and from these 2% of data I can apply the remaining package. whatever the logic I need to apply, no, I can put those logic for this 2% update. Okay, now let us go and execute this task. So now we can see it has separated the data. Okay, now we can go and see how many records are there total. So here you can see total 285 records are coming. Okay, total 285 records are coming, and in that 2% means it has given some data, that is 6 records. Okay, so it won't give the exact number of data. Means if it is 10% means it won't give 28 records always. Okay, in that 1% means, so 2.8, that is almost 1% means 3 records. So they had given 6 records. 2% means 6 records. And don't assume that every time it will give the 6. So it will give near to the 2%. Okay. So now you can see this is the sample or selected output. Out of 285 records, 6 records are pushed to the sample and 279 records are pushed to the unselected sample. Now I can put my remaining packages, okay, remaining tasks on this sample selected data. Okay. Now let me execute one more time. Let us see whether it will give me the same 6 records again. Now let me execute one more time. So now you can see it will give the different set of data and maybe different number of records also. So it may give 4 records or 5 records or 8 records. So it is a dynamic and the data also will change. So every time it won't give the same set of data. Same set of data it won't. Now we can see, so you can see 280 records. Now you can see it has given the 5 records. Earlier it has given 6 records, now it has given the 5 records, and now you can see that different data here. So let me run one more time and let me remove this unsample. Let me remove the data viewer on the unsample. Now let me select execute it now. Now let us see next time how many records are coming and whether the data is changing or not. Now you can see it has given the 5 records, but the different set of data is coming here. Okay, so every time it won't give the same set of data, it will give the different set of data. But if you want to test your application or package with the same set of records, okay, again and again, if you want to test your package with the same set of records, so is that possible? Yes, that is also possible. If you go and set that, inside this we have this checkbox, use the following random seed. Okay. Now I have used the following random seed. Now let me go for click on OK. So I've just selected that option. Use the following random seed. Okay, now let me go and execute this. Now what will happen is whatever the data it is coming down, no, every time the same set of data will get repeated. Now you can see. So how many records we are getting? 6 records, no? And the records are 10, 4, 3, 5, 5, 2. Okay, 10, 4, 3, 5, 5, 2. Okay, now from now onwards, since I have checked that random seed checkbox, now you can see the same 6 records will come every time, and the data also will be same. 10, 4, 3, 5, 5, 2 will come every time. Now you can see 10, 4, 3. First of all, same number of records, 10, 4, 3, 5, 5, 2. So you can test your package with the same set of data every time also. And if you want to test your package with the random data, then you can go on and check this. Then every time it will give the different set of data. Okay, so that is about percentage sample. Okay. If you want to separate some percentage of records from your source data, you have to go for this percentage. Okay, similarly, we have one more called row sampling. Okay, similarly, we have one more task called row sampling is there. Okay. Now let me go for one more package, one more transformation, that is row sample. Now it looks similar to the percentage sample. Okay, it looks similar to the percentage sample, but only difference is, so let me take the flat file source. Now yes, I want to use the same big bulk data file one. Let me preview. Okay, let me click on OK. My source data is ready. Now we have one more transformation called row sampling. So this also will do the same. If you want to separate some rows, okay. If you want to separate some rows from the source data, and if you want to use that rows for further testing, what you can do is, only difference is earlier we have specified the number of percentage. So 2% or 3% like. But here we have to specify the number of records. Let us say how many records you want to test. Let us say 8 records. So you can go and specify the count. Okay. So out of 285 records, you want to fetch 8 records, okay, for your testing. And this also will give you the two outputs. One is sample selected and unselected. And this also will have the random seed. Okay. Now let us go and see. So it also will give the two outputs. One is selected output and another one is non-selected output. Okay. Here let us go and view the data viewer. Now here we are just specify the number of rows. Either you can, how many rows you want to test it, you can specify that number of rows here. In percentage sampling, we are specifying the number of is how much percentage, whether it is 10%, 2%, 3% like that. And here we can specify the number of records. That's it. That is the difference.
Sir, in the row sampling also, you'll get different kind of records every time. Like it will be 8 records only, but every time you'll get different records.
Yes, we can get the different records. Now you can see. So we are getting the 8 records, and now you can see 10, 2, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3. Okay. First time we are getting 10, 2, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3. Now let me execute it one more time. So we are getting 10, 2, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3. No? Now let me execute it. Now you can see we are getting the 8 records but different set of data. 165395552. Okay, so every time we will get the different set of data. Earlier we have got 10, 2, 5, 4, 5, 3, 5, 3, no? But here now you can see 165395552. Okay. But if you want to test for same amount of data, then you have to go on check this, use the following random seed here also. Okay, you can go and check this, use the following random seed. Now let us execute this. Now every time we will get the same amount of data. So same amount of data means number of 8 records will be 8 and same set of data. Now you can see we have got 582, 851, 64. No? So 582, 851, 64. Now this data will get repeated every time. Now let us go and execute it one more time. So if I select that option, okay, select random seed option, then the same data will get repeated every time. Now you can see 582, 851, 64. The same data is getting repeated every time. So that is the usage of that random seed checkbox option. So this is about percentage sample and the row sample. So if this transformations will be very helpful when you are in the testing phase. Okay, you can test your packages with a random data and small amount of data. So that's about row sampling and percentage. Can you stop now? Any doubts?